across these fights have been so incredibly clutch. Vitality moving up to 5 and 4, forcing Fnatic to tie them in the standings as the middle of the table is an absolute
Perhaps of the march to glory for Misfits. Want to win from them once again, a comeback to end all comebacks. Misfits take their 4th win of summer.
Was available though, and the rest of Rush are focusing on the Nexus. Upset can do what?
It's a whitewash. Fnatic.
Still there.
Absolute slaughter.
Yeah.
Excel, obliterate Fnatic.
I'm gonna make him give back our past.
Yep. Yep. That's the situation right now, guys. That's the situation right now. Welcome back to another episode of Inside Fnatic's Brush. I am your host, Matt Scott, for what is a painful week for Fnatic fans. Very painful. 0-4 streak, as you've just seen. Gonna be talking about it today. My thoughts, what we can expect going forward, overview on last week's games. But before we go forward, a few announcements. The obvious one is that I have received the new, they call it the birthday jersey, I believe. That's what it is for the 18 years. And it's really nice. It's really, really nice. The fabric is amazing. It looks super resistant. I'm not much of an orange guy, but it looks good. It feels good. Yeah. I think a lot of the feedback suggestions have been taken seriously by the product / jersey team, whoever is in charge of this. But good job from them for sure. But yeah, if you've ordered it or plan to order it, then go ahead if they still have some stock left. I don't know how much of a limited edition, if ever, there it was, but yeah, it's cool. So yeah, you guys wanted some orange. You've been complaining about not enough orange on the jersey. Well, there you go, guys. You've got all the orange on the world on this jersey, and you can wear it proudly on the next live events if you ever go to Berlin in the next few weeks and you want to rep the new colors, then go ahead. The other announcement is that Inside Fnatic's Brush is not available on Spotify. I worked my way through all the podcast stuff and the hosting, and I've hosted the last 2 episodes on there. I will try to upload. I think I'll upload the summer episodes. I don't think I'll go further because that means a lot of previous episodes to download, convert them into audio files only, and then hosting them, and that takes ages. So sorry for not hosting the previous ones. I don't think you really care anyways. And re-listening past analysis of spring split of this year or summer spring of last year. So I'll try to upload the summer 2022 episodes. That's probably like 3 more episodes, and obviously this episode, which I'll try to get on today, hopefully. But yeah, that's managed, and it's also available on SoundCloud, obviously. But I'm gonna guess you're probably gonna listen on Spotify, if anything. If not, SoundCloud if you have an account or if you want to go through there. feel free to. It's also available on that platform. Awesome. With that out of the way, quick overview of our agenda for today. As usual, overview of the LEC. The predictable results have gone through, and we've had some of the teams that were struggling last week who are back on form. Some were on form last week who are still on form, and we have Fnatic, which we'll talk about, obviously, about their losing streak going 0-4 so far. Not the best results currently on a negative win rate, so we'll have to talk about that. And obviously our week 6 prediction. I apologize in advance. I was late coming home today, and I usually leave the voting up until about a half hour before I start this podcast, so I have time to update the votes. I have not had the chance. Public transportation was a mess today, so I am late. Week 6 prediction doesn't have the current scores updated, and doesn't have you guys' vote updated. It does have the games for the upcoming weeks that I prepared, but it's a mess. So I'll be updating it live with you guys. I'll be looking at the community votes, and we'll go through this together. Awesome. Let's just crack on, as we say, on to our week 5 overview of the LEC, with what seems to be a clear top 2, clear top 3 that we have currently with Rogue, Mad Lions, and Excel. Mad Lions and Excel, who, well, especially Excel, sorry, who bounced back 0-2 week, weren't looking great. Everyone was saying, oh, the what do you call it, the Korean boot camp, the effects are gone already. The miracle run that they had is already out of the way, but obviously they beat an informed Misfits, who was on a 4-5 game win streak, and they completely trashed Fnatic, which we'll talk about a bit later. But Excel definitely back on form on this game. A bit more of a challenging game against Misfits, where it was rather close into the early game. Some good neutral objective control around Herald and such, but a few, we'll call it bad team fights going into the mid portions of the game. I can't remember which point it was where basically Misfits, I think they overextend, or they get caught in their own jungle, and Excel just collapse on them. But Finn played a super clean Gangplank. That's really his go-to champion for quite some time now, and from there on, props to Excel. They managed to snowball and get what I would call a rather clean game over Misfits. If we check the sort of end game results, I believe they were almost 10k gold ahead at around 34 to 35 minutes, which was the end of the game. So Excel definitely bounced back properly. Have locked themselves in a unique third place for now. Joint first place is Mad Lions, who's continuing their growth within the LEC after some up and down couple of weeks with a lot of 1-1 records, but it feels like they've finally found their pace on their side. Niski, as I predicted it, is a great addition to the team. Obviously, compared to Reeker, much more experience, much more, much better wave management, in my opinion. and a bigger voice within the team, which I think was much needed, especially since the departure of Humanoid, who we've learned that he, at least within Fnatic, speaks a lot. So I believe he was doing the same within Mad Lions. So they're missing kind of that piece of the puzzle. And Niski, who's a quite versatile player, who can decide to play carry as much more of a supporting roaming role if needed, is definitely fitting that Mad Lions piece pretty well. And they're joined first with Rogue so far, who's been kind of uncontested, six game win streak, I believe, until it was interrupted by G2, who is our other top form team of the week. Now, I was kind of, let's say, second guessing if I was going to put G2 there. I'm putting G2 here for, I'd say, one big reason, which is obviously they had a 2-0 week, but they're coming back from a 0-4 streak. So, it being able to obviously beat Rogue, who was looking kind of uncontested with their win streak, but their game against Astralis definitely looked like they were going to go into a 0-5 lose streak this time. It took some crazy backdoor from Caps and Broken Blade to close the game, but albeit there's quite a bit of back and forth. Astralis did hand them the game a few moments here and there. Astralis completely crushed the early game against G2. I was actually quite surprised, especially I believe it was what's his name, Vizichachi, who was completely dominating his lane. I'd have to. I don't want to. I don't want to say something that's wrong here. I need to check the game again, but I'm pretty sure that. No, sorry. Who was? Am I mistaken here? Did I misremember the game? I think I'm misremembering the game. So it was G2 with the early lead, but it was Astralis with the better team fights and the better collapse. Yeah, it was. So what happened? I'm sorry, guys. I've completely misremembered. Oh yeah. So Astralis was close to getting the Inferno Soul, and they gambled it all on a Drake play, and then they just got fully backdoored, which is an absolute tragedy here. Insane. But with that said, it didn't look that promising for G2 going into Rogue, who was the better opposition and the better team so far. And to my surprise, they actually managed to beat them. So I think they deserve their place this week into that top form teams of the week. So I've put them there just because, yeah, 2-0 week, coming back from 0-4. Now they're in that joint top 4 place with Vitality of all teams, who's kind of in a way securing their playoffs spot. Obviously, there's still 7 games to be played, so anything can happen. But at least a better shape Vitality so far. Now on the other side, unfortunately, I have to put Fnatic there again. Obviously because of the 0-2 week, but because of the abysmal game they had against Excel. I'm not sure there's more to be said. Obviously, we have our Fnatic section to talk about it, but not great. not great, disappointing, negative win streak, negative win rate. Did I say negative win streak? That doesn't make sense. 0-4 lose streak, negative win rate. That's what I meant. But yeah, a bit concerning. Obviously, it's not dead in the water. As I mentioned, there's still 7 games to be played, but still very concerning. Lack of improvement. I'm not gonna say more. We have a section on Fnatic for this. I'll talk about it more there. What I will say though is that Misfits, who looked like they were growing and improving, go into a 0-2 week. Now, I personally thought that if not go 2-0, they would at least grab 1 win because they were facing Excel and they were facing Vitality. Now, against Excel, it's a bit hard to say that they were definitely going to win because Excel was 0-2. You know, a team can have a bad week and then come back stronger the next week. So that was a bit hard to bet on. It could go either way. Either Excel continues to have a bad week, or Misfits continue their growth and continue to perform well, and they continue to have a win. The Vitality Misfits game, on the other hand, I was a bit more surprised about that because I was expecting Misfits to have a clear control over Vitality, who, even though they won their game against Fnatic, still not the best team right now. They still have Haru. I'm not sure when Bo's coming in. Still doesn't feel like he's coming into week 6. Hasn't been announced, and I would believe that would he play this week, it would have been announced by then, right? People saying he's crushing solo queue. That's good for him. Solo queue, pro play, 2 different beasts. So I don't like making that comparison personally, but you know, everyone does their thing. But I was surprised that Vitality got the win because Misfits started the game pretty well. Albeit they did make some mistakes here and there. But early on, their control was pretty decent. The mid and bot lane were in control, especially on what's his name? On the Philios. You want to get that early game going for him. You want to get those turrets placed with just scales and completely overtakes team fights. But I'm not sure what happened again. I'm trying to check the game as I'm speaking, but they just mismanaged their side lanes terribly. They were unable to capture the top and bot lane turrets when for the same tempo Vitality was able to win those. On the contrary, when it came to team fights around neutral objectives, it was Vitality who came over with the big wins, whether it be around Dragon or around the Baron. What do you call it? The Tam Kench Senna duo did pretty well into Perks's Talia, which I was surprised how well he played her. I don't know if it's always been some sort of like pocket pick for him. I mean, I say pocket pick. Talia is pretty popular right now, but it seems to be like a champion that he has very good control over. And yeah, it was below 30-minute game, so pretty decent for Vitality, who've looked like a much stronger team. 10k gold advantage, I believe, as well. So strong finish, especially underneath 30 minutes. So could this be the rejuvenation of this Vitality team that we've been promised for so long. This super team with all this talent, but no, they've played rather well, and that's been at the cost of Misfits. So you know, just going back to Vitality real quick, my question is Vitality thinking twice before putting a boat in? Are they saying, oh wait, we're starting to have something between our hands with Haru? Do we really need to add Bo, and basically having to rework everything? Because listen, I don't know how Bo is fitting in right now, if they're already scrimming with him or not. But if you change a player, especially late into the split, unless Bo is some sort of plug and play player where he just fits into the team and there's very little to no preparation needed for him to be able to work with the team. In that case, that's great for Vitality. They have an insane player just ready to get on board and strike onto the LEC. But from experience, I don't think that putting in Bo at this stage would make sense if they're starting to garner some wins without him. So has Haru find his pace, or players like Alfari, Perks starting to play better with Haru around? I'm not too sure. All I'm seeing is that there's some clear improvement in Vitality's games. In some of their games, in some other games, it still feels like they're doing the same mistakes as Spring, obviously. But there could be some elements in which Vitality is saying, let's wait to put in Bo right now, as long as it's working, and we're able to secure a playoff spot. That could be happening. This is pure speculation, by the way. This is nothing's proven. This is just me thinking out loud. But we'll see about what comes next. But just to conclude really quickly on the standings, obviously we have Rogue Mad Lions first place, or joint first place, sorry. XL third. G2 Vitality joint fourth place at 6 and 5. Joint sixth place for the last spot of playoffs. We have 3 teams. We have Astralis, Misfits, and Fnatic, unfortunately. And then we have bottom of the barrel, SK and Team BDS. Team BDS, so with just 1 win. I don't know what's happening with them. They're looking like a distant cousin of the bad years of Origin. I'm just hoping that they change stuff for next year, because it's not great. It's not great. Their LFL team is doing much better. I think they're like top 3, top 4. And even Adam is playing better. So maybe there's something going on in the main team that's just not working. Who knows? Who knows? But we need to talk about Fnatic. Where do I start? Let's start with the beginning. Our game against Rogue. Because the game against Rogue is probably the most positive I can talk about right now. The game against Rogue started really, really well. And it felt like there was some clear improvement, that we were back to our well, maybe not saying winning ways, but at least our smart strategic approaches that we've had during spring. And Razork had some good early presence with his Trundle. He was matching well on what's his name, Marang's Roams. Mid lane was kinda even though I believe it should have been maybe in what's his name, in the Humanoid's favor. Although I believe that Larson was running Comet, which is a good counter in the early to stop being poked too hard by the Corki and just being shoved in and being able to do more damage on the poke afterwards. But a few things. I think, first of all, in terms of draft, we kind of fell off, and the the rogue comp just caught up to us in the end. Second element was the crap. What's the name of the item? Am I? I'm blanking. Basically, the mythic that humanoid built, the ADC item that has an activate where you just press it and it makes you dash in a specific direction. Gale Force. Gale Force. Gale Force core key? Question mark? I don't know. I'm far from being a challenger player, that I will give you. But I don't think there's a world where Gale Force core key makes sense. He already has a built-in dash, albeit, you know, has a long cooldown, but I don't think you need Gale Force to create extra distance. Unfortunately, Humanoid didn't do much, in my opinion. Constantly gets caught by Malrang, who seems to be Humanoid's kryptonite this season. Like, Malrang knows exactly how Humanoid's going to behave, and he's always here to catch him. And I can't remember who said, I believe that Humanoid did more damage to Upset on the Renata Glask ultimate than to the enemy team. And, you know, to be honest, Trimby played really well. His ultimates were perfect. And they completely fucked us over every time. And as I was coming back home, actually, I was listening to the voice comms. And something was very disappointing, in my opinion. I don't know if you guys had the chance to listen to them yet. But Razork, a few times, is calling off some moves we're trying to do, like around the Baron, around the jungle. And he's like, oh, I'm not too sure about this. I don't feel right about this. And listen, again, I don't pretend to be challenger whatsoever, but I'm a jungler player myself. And there's something that I would say I do properly is feeling what's happening on the map, right? So when I do something, I can kind of guess where the opponent jungle is or what his action is. So it's like, well, I know he's probably going to be on Dragon here. And what do you know, 5 seconds after, I get game notification, Drake has been taken by enemy jungler. Or on your contrary, it's like, oh, he might be trying to get Herald here and stuff like this. Or he's probably pathing topside because this lane is pushing. So you kind of get a feeling when shit's about to go down and when there's a bad decision that's being made. And it just felt like the team wasn't listening to him. Now, I don't know if it was because the team was kind of, panicking, or they didn't hear Razork or whatsoever, but it really sucks that, a player that has a core role within the team, nobody's listening to him when he's making calls or when he's giving out his opinion, and people, if you say, oh, I don't feel it, just back off and do something else on the map. So yeah, I was a bit annoyed. About this. I hope this is not reflecting on some internal trust within the team. Especially if you've watched the recent highlights. Razork had a message towards the team. It's like, I believe in the group and everything. That was quite heartwarming. but I think it's an important message that is like, you know, I still believe that we can win, even though we're having some shit weeks so far. So you know, let's keep going. Let's continue working towards our goal, and you know, get that playoff spot. And on that point, you know, I've been reading a lot from Sense, the mental coach, and Yamato. That like they're clearly working on some plan on a strategy. You know, I don't know if it's a strategy to work better together or something like this. If it's the glimpses that we saw in this first rogue game, but it feels like they're trying to come up with something as a team, and I hope it's a good sign of things to come. You know, the rogue game showed, I guess, some improvements from the previous week, and if that's the elements that they're working on, then I think we can be hopeful going into next week. I'm not talking much about the Excel game because, let's be honest, what is there to talk about? I mean, even Fnatic within their highlights and what do you call it? Their voice content. They barely put anything because it just felt like a solo queue game. The team was completely lost, just being completely diffed on not even like macro stuff, but pure mechanical stuff. The what do you call it? They made Patrick look like he was friggin' Gala or Gomayushi. So you know. Thank you, Maspero. Yes, the beard has been finally trimmed. It doesn't look like a horrible forest or brush, even though it would have been on theme with the title of this podcast. But you need a much needed trim, much needed cut, just like my hair. I'm finally a clean person. There's been some improvement made, so I hope you guys appreciate it, especially with the new jersey. But yeah, I think the Excel game is just really a game you want to forget about. There's nothing. I don't think there's anything to take away from it. And I'm actually kind of sad. I'm actually kind of sad because, for actually a few things, this first elements of improvements that we showed on the road game, I was expecting them to reflect onto the Excel game. Didn't happen. I thought we were going to be able to beat Rogue and be the ones to put an end to their streak. Of course, who does it? G2, who also came from the 0-4 loss streak. So there's a lot of frustration going all over the place. Now, with that said, what I've seen online from some of the fans, I will not name names, calling out Humanoid because he dare post that he wanted to be is it Tomorrowland or whatever the name of that festival is? Like, oh, my God, he dares thinking about something else than the game. How dare he? He should be staying in his cage, playing the game 24/7, and not think about the outside life. The fact that he gets to see the sun is way too much. He should be staying in the gaming house and then transported into the LEC studios with the windows completely shut in the car, and then almost with a bag up on his head, and you reveal the bag once he gets onto the chair into the studio. It's like, mate, a humanoid is free to tweet that he'd rather be somewhere else, because when you grind the game 24/7, you'd like a small break. You'd like to be at a festival, and you'd like to be at a concert. Doesn't mean he's not working whatsoever. Like, it's just the people who just went at him for this, who dare question his commitment for over, and I'm not going to say misinterpreting, but over interpreting. Was it an Instagram story or whatever it was? You guys need to get a grip, guys. You need to get a bloody grip on yourself. Yeah, you call yourselves fans and everything. Like 1 week you're like, oh, don't flame, and then the next week you're calling almost for him to get benched. Who are you gonna get at the end of the season, mate? You have no idea how this works. Like last minute changes. Are you out of your mind? Like the only team who are doing this are the team who are really, really, really struggling. Like I forgot to mention it, but Misfits bringing in back the one and only Zanzara into their LEC roster and putting down Schlatan into the LFL. Misfits, who by the way have sold their spot to Heretics, so I don't know why they care so much, but whatever. I don't care. Oh yeah. Are you really gonna change Humanoid? Well, what if Humanoid has an amazing week this week? What now? What's the narrative? And same for Razorg. Same bullshit I'm reading for Helisang again. Same for Upset. Upset had some very good positioning during the road game, by the way. I want you guys to acknowledge this and watch the game again. He played really well. But that's another story. But yeah. There's still 7 games to be played. For those who've watched the LEC and EULCS for the longest time, you know that shit can change within a week. Within a week, teams can go from almost secured playoffs to not making playoffs at all. And the other thing is true. We have teams with like 0.00001% chance. And when the stars align, they finally make playoffs. Now, obviously, as Fnatic, you want to be able to make it into the upper bracket. Sure. The objective still stays to make playoffs. We've had teams like G2 make deep runs and win through losers bracket. Even ourselves. Last year, we've made it all the way to finals in must have been one of the most gruesome playoffs run in the story of the LEC. Going 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. And then 3-0, obviously 0-3 in the finals. But still, that was insane to play basically a split's worth of game within a few weeks of playoffs. So obviously, as we're going into week 6, we're facing Mad Lions and we're facing BDS. All improvement aside, I'm expecting us to win against BDS because BDS is in shambles. I think Grabs has completely thrown the towel. He's not even trying anymore. He's like, see you next year. If he ever stays within BDS, I don't know what's going to be the situation. If he's just going to crack open the team and be like, let me make a roster by myself or whatever. The other team we're facing is Mad Lions. Now, Mad Lions is playing super well right now. Here's the scenario. Either we go 1-1, we win against BDS, we lose against Mad Lions. We'll probably still join 6, I would say. So that's not too bad. With what will be 5 games left. Either we go 2-0, we manage to beat Mad Lions. And we're looking pretty good going into the last 2 weeks of playoffs. So I think exceptionally next week, what we'll be looking for is better macro, better team play, better decision making overall. I think those will be the main keys here. The other element will be to see how players like Humanoid, Hilly and such are behaving. Right? I'm not even saying playing, just saying behaving. Are they completely ignoring, you know, potential jungle positioning, jungle pressure? Or are they being aware of that? Are they being proactive with it? And obviously everything around drafting. I've mentioned it last week. I feel like we're a bit behind when it comes to this. I'm hoping we adapt, we update ourselves. I don't want to see some stupid Vex Gragas combination that was horrible. Like, I feel bad for the players for having to play with these kind of drafts. But again, it's like, you know, for the drafts, there's always a share of players' decision. So I'm just really curious, like, who made that final decision? It's just like, pick me Vex and let's be done with it, or, you know, or was there like a real strategy behind? How confident am I that we're going to beat BDS? I'm pretty confident. I think we could go in with hands tied behind our back and the screens off. We still beat BDS. Like, have you seen BDS? Have you seen BDS? It's not like they're playing close games, you know, and you're like, oh, BDS almost, oh, you know, they inched that win. They were so close of just getting the second win. They get absolutely demolished, mate. And it's not even close. It's not even close. Like, their games against Astralis. You could you could say, oh well, you know, they were getting the Drakes. Yes. They had what? Was it 3 or 4 turrets by the end of the game? They were 10k gold at 30 minutes. Like, you can feel like Fnatic is playing poorly, but BDS, I'm telling you, it's like the Spider-Man meme when it's like he's seeing it so blurry and then puts his glasses on and you see something else. I'm telling you, it's giving me glimpse of old Origin, and that's not good. You don't want that. You don't want that at all. So yeah, I'm gonna stay confident that we beat BDS. If we don't, I think there's an alarm situation if we don't beat BDS. Mad Lions, it depends on how we improve. I don't think Mad Lions is unbeatable. Far from it. They're definitely playing super well right now. But if we beat Mad Lions, sure. Remember last time, but last time we weren't playing well and we still beat them. So I'm still confident. I'm confident that we're gonna play better, and I'm confident that BDS is still gonna stay as shit as they are. So we win in both cases. Yeah, I'm not. I think we go at least 1-1 next week. There's no way. Maybe I'm jinxing it super extra and you can quote me afterwards, but there's no way we go on a 0-6 streak. I think if we go 0-6 streak, we're pretty fucked for playoffs. And we have to rely on other teams' results to make it. So, no, I think we're fine. I'm going to say 1-1 at best, 2-0 best case scenario. Which, actually, this is a good segue to go into the predictions. Which, let me see. I believe those are correct. Let me check really, really quickly. I think it's on the day 2. You guys have put Astralis. Sorry. I put SK over Astralis? Am I sure? I wanted to put Astralis. Where did I put SK? I just brain lagged on that one. Let me see. Where's my Astralis logo? There it is. Astralis logo. Boom. Oh, and I forgot to update the points as well. This is bad. Sorry, guys. There we go. Astralis. Let's see. Voted for Rogue. Excel. Yep. G2. And you guys voted for Fnatic. I voted for Mad Lions. I don't care. If I get it wrong, It is what it is. If I get it right, awesome. Oh, well, not awesome, but well, awesome in terms of points, not awesome in terms of ranking. Whatever. Oh my god, what is this? Don't look, guys. This is really bad. What the hell? Why is this all over the place? Something must have glitched here. I'm sorry. This can go away, go away, go away. SK versus Misfits. SK or Misfits? I'm gonna put SK. Okay, what did you guys vote on? Because I think it's on day 2. On day 2, there's actually a lot of, what do you call it? A lot of tied results. So when it's a tie, I use the heads or tails on Google, and the heads or tails choose for you guys because, well, you weren't enough to vote for it to not have a tie. 8 votes. For shame, guys. For absolute shame. Trader, hey, not the first time I've voted against Fnatic, you know. It is what it is. So SK versus Misfits is a tie. SK tails, Misfits heads. Let's see what you guys get. You guys get heads. You get Misfits. There you go. And there we go. Misfits, Misfits, Misfits. Where are you guys? Doop, there we go. Boom. You guys take Misfits. Rogue versus Astralis. I'm gonna guess you guys went with Rogue. Absolutely. So we copy that one and we put him right here. There we go. Mad versus Excel. What did you guys? You went all for Mad Lions. Alrighty. Mad Lions for you guys. I'm trying to get them aligned properly. There we go. BDS Fnatic. I'm gonna be sure it's Fnatic. There we go. Mad winning Excel. You don't think so? I think Mad is looking better than Excel right now. I mean, it'll be definitely one of the most interesting games of the week for sure. Probably the one that can go either way, but I'm still gonna give it to Mad Lions. I think if you go by pure recency bias. Vitality versus G2. You guys tied this? You didn't vote G2? Okay. Vitality is tails, G2 heads. Let's see. Oh, it's tails. You guys are getting vitality. Listen, I don't make the rules. I mean, I do make the rules. I don't make the outcome of the rules. You know what I'm saying? Where's my vitality logo? There it is. Boom. You guys get this. Now, bear with me 2 seconds as I'm gonna try to find the results for the results for last week. I need to go into my other I need to go into last week's video. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is not muted. I want to mute site. Thank you very much. Okay, what did we say last week? Pretty much had the same votes. SK, Excel, Mad Lions, G2, Rogue. I had perfect week, if I'm not mistaken. SK, Excel, Mad Lions, G2, Rogue. That's 5 points for me. That's 3 points for you guys. I need to write it down, or else I'm gonna get it wrong. 5-3 on day 1, and then on day 2, what did you guys go for? Australis, Mad Lions. This is wrong. This is wrong. So we had 2 points each. So I got 7 in total, and you got 5, which means I beat you guys by 1 point. I'm 1 point ahead. So 25 plus 7, that's 32. You guys get 5 points. That is 31. There we go. Boom. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. The Mats got ahead 32 to 31, guys, with everything to play for next week. We do have a few votes that are different, so who knows? Maybe you guys win. I don't think you're winning G2 versus Vitality unless some massive upset. But yeah, we'll see how it works out, guys. With that said, I'm thinking. Let me check something actually. There we go. I'm gonna do this. Is this? Oh, awesome. New end screen. So just to show you, so you can know you guys where to catch me. I'm scripting. I'm the one who wrote the LE seeded. It was me all along. But guys, if you wanna stay connected, if you wanna watch the VODs, if you wanna catch me on pure voice, here's where to follow me. Twitter at @madscott_ at IFB podcast. Find me on YouTube, right direction, inside Fnatic's Brush, and now on Spotify, inside Fnatic's Brush, guys. If you can't catch the live, if you can't catch the VOD, if you're on the train, if you're in someone else's car, if you're in public transportation, and you want to hear my amazing voice and all this great stuff I say about the LEC and Fnatic, that's where you can find me. But yeah, that's going to be all for this week, guys. Thank you again for people tuning in, watching on all of this stuff. For the first people who will be listening on Spotify, appreciate it. Hopefully we get some good results for Fnatic this week. I'll see you next Thursday, and then afterwards I'll be away on holiday. So next Thursday will be probably the last episode of the split. Let me see. It'll be week 6, week 7, and yep. Next week is the last episode of the season. I'm going on holiday for 2 weeks. I'm going to be chilling at the beach. So I'll see you guys for playoffs. Not sure how we're going to make it work out for the playoffs, because I'll be in Malmo myself. So maybe I'll meet some of you guys. I hope I will. I don't know if I'll be able to make a live stream of the finals. Hopefully we're in the finals. But yeah, we've got time to figure it out. So yeah, I'll see you next week, guys. Enjoy the games this weekend, and thank you for watching. Peace. See ya.